To start grooming, I'll first throw the lead rope over the horse's neck and then organize my halter. And then I'll slip on the noseband and tie the rest of the halter. I also make sure that his noseband is comfortable. After that, I lead the horse to the stall's wall to tie a safety knot to keep us both safe during the grooming process. I'll then move to picking feet. I use motions going down and away from me, and this just helps to remove any dirt and rocks that may be stuck in the hooves. I will then start the main body groom by moving the mane and using the rubber curry comb, going in circular motions, and this helps to remove dirt and dandruff and gets it to the surface. I also make sure to pay special attention to the places where the saddle will be touching. And it's important to also get the belly as well. Next, I move to the stiff brush using short flicking motions. It helps to get off all of the dirt, dandruff, and hair that the rubber curry comb got up. Lastly, I move on to the soft brush and I go in longer strides, and this helps to smooth the coat down and to get any last remaining hair or dirt off. To begin saddling, I'll first lay down a saddle pad. And then on top of it, I will lay down another fleece saddle pad. I then gently lift the saddle up and over, ensuring that it's far enough up and we're tinting those saddle pads at least 3 fingers from the withers. I then tap her to make sure she knows I'm going behind and check that the saddle aligns with her spine. After that, we choose a girth and attach it to the saddle. After that, I check the tightness of the girth and that the saddle pads are still in place. I then move to bridling by separating the bridle out, offering her the bit, and then sliding the crown piece into place and making sure the brow band is comfortable. I then move to buckling the noseband, then finish by buckling the throat latch and ensuring that everything fits and is comfortable. To begin mounting, I put on my helmet and then check my stirrups and then hop up on the block. I then put my foot in the stirrup and then kick up and over, making sure to avoid kicking her. After mounting, I realized my stirrups were too short, so I had my riding partner help me adjust them quickly. To do that, kick my leg out of the stirrup and up over in front of me, and then pull the stirrup leather down, buckle it where I want to, and pull it back in place. After being satisfied, I'm ready to ride. To begin lunging, I'll stand at the drive point and apply pressure when I want the horse to go faster and release when I want them to go slower. Here's an example of me adding pressure and then dropping it. This is a great example of the walk gait. It's a 4-beat gait, and my heels are aligned with my hips, aligned with my shoulders, aligned with my ears. My hands are also forward, together, and down. In this example, I am turning around, so I'm turning to the inside of the arena. I take up my inside rein, apply pressure with my outside leg, and make sure to turn my head where I want to go. Here I am asking for a stop, so I'll gently sit down, breathe, and if I need to, slightly pull back on the reins. And by applying a little bit more pressure with the reins and my lower leg, I ask for a clear back. Right here is an example of me two-pointing the walk. My legs are back, my heels are down, and occasionally I use the horse's neck to maintain balance. Here's me two-pointing the trot, and you can tell it's a trot because of the diagonal pairs of legs moving. And while the gait may change, the position still stays the same. In this example, I'm posting the trot with the correct diagonal. I rise and fall with the outside leg. Another example of posting the trot with the correct diagonal, except on my own. This would be an example of an incorrect diagonal. I rise with the inside. For this exercise, I approached the cones in a seated trot and worked on navigating around them. I made sure to look up and use my lower legs well. Similar to the cones, I look up and ask for a trot. And once we're at the jump, I two-point to go over. In this exercise, we're looking over ground poles, so I envision the center, I look up, two-point, and go over smoothly. To get into a canter, I go from a trot, then I give a verbal cue, and right there I break into a canter, and you can see it's a canter because it's a 3-beat gait. In this example, I am on a left lead. For a canter, the outside leg is a gas pedal, so when he breaks down, I give a little bit more and he gets back into it. Using all of that knowledge, I begin walking a pattern. I first approach cone A, then I, in a walk, approach cone B, which is imaginary in my mind. From cone B, I ask for a trot and do a seated trot in a circle. After closing that circle, I imagine the center line and break out in a two-pointed trot for another circle. To ensure I close the circle correctly, I'm imagining that center line, and then once I finish a circle, I break down back to a walk and approach cone C. After that, I ask for a stop and then a back. After that back, I'm done with the pattern and I exit. To dismount, I make sure I'm in a safe place. I bridge my reins, then kick my right leg out of the stirrup, making sure to not bump the horse. Slide my other foot out and slide down. After that, I bring the reins over the horse's head for a correct ground position. I begin untacking by grabbing her halter and then undoing the throat latch of her bridle. After that, I move on to undoing the noseband. I then bring the crown piece over her ears and let her drop the bit herself. I then start re-haltering her and just slip that over her nose and rebuckling it. I then go ahead and tie a safety knot to the bars so that it keeps me and her safe during untacking and grooming. To store the bridle, you first take the reins and cross them, and then encase everything with the noseband and put it in its keeper. This just ensures it's put away neatly. To begin unsaddling, I'll lift up that flap and then undo the billets. I will then go to the other side and do the same thing. After undoing the girth, I will slide the pads in the saddle all off at the same time. I will then undo her boots and her bell boots. I will then put up the halter and make sure everything's even, and that's a ride complete. Olive decided that she wanted to trot, and so to stop her, I was slightly pulling back on the reins, and she decided to throw a fit. You can tell I was pretty stressed out there. Also, Olive, she decided to have a yawn attack as we were trying to untack her. This was already about yawn 6 at this point. And she just kept going. I think I see a trend here. Olive seems to be a little problematic. Perchance the best proof was my most glorious fail when I flew off the back of her. Boop! Jokes aside, Olive is pretty great.